Come on in. Let's chit chat. All roads run through Texas. Gonna have to start going in here in a second while I while I have a minute to chit chat. Brother Jamal has lost his mind. What does he mean that all roads run through Texas? How dare you? Texas? Come on, man. Y'all ain't doing nothing but swinging on 84s and eating barbecue. No, my friend, there's more than that going on down here in Texas. No, let me tell you about it. Peace to everybody. We're going to get going with who we got in the building right now. And what's up, Brother Williams? We got some Texans in the house. Um, Yesterday, I'll try to make this short and sweet. Yesterday, I read from a book called Hindu Goddess. Okay, this book, right? Well, I didn't read from it. I referenced this book. Well, you'll have to get the book to read this for yourself. But I'm gonna tell you what something else I found in this book that was profound to me. It's talked about how, again, another account of how the goddess Durga. Now, first of all, I want you to look at her name, Durga. Durga. Who is this? What's happening, Rico? The goddess Durga, Durga. If you look at the name, and we talk about acronyms all the time. Acronym is, no, not an acronym, anagram. I'm sorry, anagram. It's a word that has been taken and scrambled. Okay. If you look at the name Durga, you'll find a very common word that we know of called drug. DRUG. Just take DURG, unscramble it, and you've got DRUG. Now I'm gonna tell you how I know we own something here, because one of her powers is she puts people to sleep. She puts Vishnu to sleep, but in putting him to sleep, the power in him is released. So that's a whole nother conversation right there. We're talking about melatonin. We're talking about that's a whole different. But I want to throw that out there, just a little bone for you to chew on until a later date. But Durga, Durga, in one of her creation stories, I told y'all yesterday about how in one of the myths, the gods who are under duress, they come together and release their power. And What I didn't tell you is that there's a name that they give to this power that they release, and it's called Tejas, or it probably would be Tejas, from the standpoint of a Sanskrit standpoint, but it's spelled Tejas. Now we know that's a Spanish word that we pronounce Tejas. Okay, we back. We're gonna try this again. Once again, Tejas is the name of the energy that's released when all of these gods, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, Vaya, all these different gods release these energies. It's called Tejas. Now, the Tejas is a very hot, uh, temperate, very hot-tempered, high-tempered energy, fire, so to speak, that forms the goddess Durga. And Tejas, Tejas, or it may be Tejas in from that perspective, which was Tejas in Spanish, is the name of Texas. Tejas. Now, Tejas is said from a Spanish perspective, is said to mean alien and also friend. Okay. Now, what do we hear about in the news? We hear about the whole thing about the illegal aliens and children being held and so forth. Well, let me tell you something interesting about Texas. And I know I'm going all over the place with this, but just stay with me. Texas, I do believe, is the corporate headquarters for a place called Chuck E. Cheese. I want to just follow me on this. Now, we went there yesterday, and that little rat that's in there, the little mascot, is spooky. That little Chuck E. Cheese. And when you get up there, and I took a picture of it, and maybe later on I can put it up as a thumbnail for this so you can see it. I took a picture of it, of the rat staring at us. And up there by the rat, it has the initials CEC. And you know what the spirit told me? It said that stood for Control Every Child. CEC, supposed to represent Chuck E. Cheese. But Chuck E. Cheese is Control Every Child, because this is the main place where we've got the showdown going on with the so-called illegal aliens. Now, those are just a cover for talking about the energy that is here in Tejas. That is something that appears in Sanskrit text. Now you go further, and we find that you hear about the whole thing about, oh, we got to build this wall and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I want you to understand on a deeper level what I believe is going on. That the wall is talking about trying to stop the energy that is in a place that nobody would suspect. Tejas, right here. And Texas, or Tejas, is experiencing record heat this summer. Record heat. We're talking about Arizona type numbers. 109, 110, 111. Got just all. Shout out to Hoodie. Check out his YouTube channel. I don't even know if he even watches any of my videos, but I watch his stuff, and he's cold with the giving a very unique perspective and scholarly yet intuitive breakdown of astrology and tarot. But he was talking about this morning about this energy, this fiery energy that's off the coast of New Orleans. I'm telling you. And what's New Orleans right next to? Tejas. Now you look at Texas, and Texas, what what is significant, one of the many things that's significant about Texas is that it is a distribution hub for the country. You're gonna find a slew of people who this is where their distribution hub is in Texas. Now we can say common sense, a mundane level, it's because it's centrally located. Okay, that's part of it. But there's also a knowing of an energy that is here. Now I'll give you an example or proof of that. One of the occult, metaphysical, uh, philosophy, but more importantly, mythological study hubs of the country is the University of Texas at Austin. Did y'all know that? See, when you think of UT, you think about Earl Campbell Sausage, and you think about Cedric Benson and Ricky Williams and Vince Young and Kevin Durant and what's my man, what's the dude's name? Ford. Ford was a bad cat. Guard played for. These are things we think of. We think of Texas UT. We think of sports. You don't think of academics first when you think of the University of Texas. All done, I feel, to cloak. Man, Texas is a big-time research university, especially in occult and physical and mythological studies. Stephen Flowers, and listen to him, and he'll tell you, University of Texas, and he laments how they have been locking down their library, and well, not the library, but the whole mythological studies, because he's all into the whole ruins and German mythology. He wants to try to find his goal is to try to link up something ancient with Germany, which I mean, God bless them. Everybody, hey, you can't fault nobody for trying to make themselves significant, but you eat the fish and spit out the bones. All roads run through Texas. There's a highway, two main arteries coming up out of Texas, and they link into each other as they leave out. I-45, I-35 conjoin and form I-35 leaving out of Texas. Now think of all the things that have happened off of I-35. John F. Kennedy assassinated. If you go downtown Dallas, where Kennedy was assassinated was just off of I-35. David Koresh, Waco, I-35. The plant that blew up, the fertilizer plant that blew up, I-35. The gunman in the watchtower. Now, how much more obvious can that be? On the campus of the University of Texas, early '60s, that killed up all Texas. That's I-35. The highway that collapsed in Minnesota back in the '90s, I-35. Keystone Pipeline, I-35. All roads run through Texas. So there is a knowing of an energy that is prevalent here. Now that's not to, let me make this clear, that's not to belittle or to lessen the importance of none of y'all where you're at, okay, and nobody else's. But I mean, we always look to New York. We always look to LA. We always look to, well, I mean, we got to make it known about, well, what's down here in the Lone Star State. And you're gonna find God, so to speak, where you don't expect to find it. And see, I get a little chip on my shoulder sometimes, because I know I got some partners down in Houston, and I know about some cats who came down from New York and, you know, got treated with Southern hospitality, and then they get back up to New York and they bumping their gums, talking about, basically like people down here slow and this and that. We are slow. What you doing, man? Yeah, we are slow. We're deliberately slow, but we ain't slow in the head. See, people always think, not always. I'm not gonna say always, but I've had a lot of experiences. People down south and they come talking all this noise, but you didn't move down south. So if wherever you were at was so great and so superior, why are you coming down here and breathing this air with all this green grass and although Texas is becoming a concrete jungle, but still down here by this equator. See, we ain't walking around sounding like our nose stopped up all year, because we are in closer to a habitat. We down here by the equator, baby. It's cooking down here in Tejas. It's cooking down here in Texas. You better believe it. We cooking down here. So I find, people tend to be condescending in nature about the South. Some people. Everybody ain't like that. But what's interesting about the South, while I'm on my soapbox, is that everything comes out of the South, including these people who are in these other places. You came out of the South. In Kemet, Southern Kemet is called Upper Kemet, and Northern Kemet is called Lower or Lesser Kemet. The Nile runs from the south up. So it's called going down north and up south. I mean, from the south down, I should have said. Going down north and up south. And once again, I'm not, being, dismissive of, but we setting the record straight, because we're often made out to be lesser than down here, like we slow. People who's always used to come down, like, well, we'll leave that for another conversation. People who know anything about the game, you always got them cats who come down from so-called from the city and think they some city slickers. But here's the thing, they never talk slick when they down here around people in the South. You and I believe it's something having to do with being close to the equator. So people then, they come down here and feed off of us, then they go back home and talk slick, like like we subpar. But I done got all off of course. Or have I really? Because all roads still run through Texas, baby. And I'm not originally from here, but I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. I've always had roots here. I had people down here. That's how I got here. And I've been here 16 years. I'm a Texan. And I still am I'm still got my North Carolina roots. But when I read that, okay, I see why. And it's funny that I talked about this in a lecture like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. I talked about this whole I-35 thing. I talked about this movie Apocalypse 10.6, where they talk about this fault line that's running down to, of all places, Houston, Texas. And they were trying to divert this energy by blowing up certain parts of Texas to divert the energy from a nuclear plant that was in Houston. Does that sound familiar? fertilizer plant blows up in West Texas. Then I'm driving home. Like I told y'all, we're coming home with I-20, and guess what? I discover all these times I've been driving, I didn't know. I discovered there's a city that is either north or south of Marshall, Texas, uh, and it's called Elysian Fields, Texas. Do you know what Elysian Fields is? Elysian Fields is supposed to be it's supposed to be a representation of heaven or the afterlife. And this is dealing with the mysteries of Bacchus and the mysteries of Dionysus. Look it up. There's a place in East Texas. I drove through it. If I wasn't driving, I would have took a picture. Called Elysian Fields. You have a place down here called Rockwall, the secret, heavily guarded Rockwall, Texas. We won't even go into all that. You can look it up. All roads run through Texas. You're gonna find the divine in places you don't think it's coming from, hidden in plain sight. So we see a connection between Sanskrit text and connection between uh, the language over here that we use in the Latin language, Spanish, well, Tejas. Now, going back to the wall, Mexico is the bordering landmass to Tejas or Texas, okay? Mexico means etymologically moon city. No, it means the navel of the moon. I'm sorry. Now, what's interesting about all of this is that, once again, to talk about the wall and all that. Well, if you recall from your days of being a good old Phi Beta Baptist Christian, you remember a story of Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. And we used to sing a song. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Okay, well, Jericho means moon city. Wall, Jericho. Because talking about right here, right here. So these people understand where it's supposed to go down there. And they're like, man, we got to build a wall. It ain't about trying to keep no doggone people out uh, who barefoot and coming over here to crossing the Rio Grande or whatever. No, it's talking about the energy. So when we put that out there, the energy and the people's lack of understanding of the significance of it, the emotions that they attach to it, whichever side helps to cloak the real design plan, and also will help to move it along. Especially those people who are saying, yeah, we got to build that wall. They're hoping that the energy and the emotion, the ignorant, arrogant emotions that go into that will help to bring about the reality of building the wall spiritually, because all roads run through Texas. And I don't care if you're in Florida, Georgia, New York, Chicago, wherever, because you all listen in and tune in from all over the world. You ain't left out. All roads run through Texas because you are now connected to Texas, if by nothing else, through me. It ain't about me in general, but see, this is what you've got to understand. We Okay, are we back? Okay. So I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up. I don't know how much of that got cut off what I just said, but either way, I've said what I need to say. Um, we've made the point clear that all roads again are uh, running through here, and we are all connected. So the point I was trying to make is that I think I need to stress it again to make sure, just in case it got cut off, is that no matter where you at, this is not to suggest that you are insignificant. You are linked to this energy, if nothing else, through uh, our interaction right here. And it's not about me as to say that I am the, you know what I'm saying, one. No, but I am part of something. That's something down here. I'm trying to tell y'all. There's something down here. I can't put my finger completely on it, but it's something. You know, why is it that this group, uh, what was the last to so-called be emancipated? You got to go back and look at that, because obviously there was something known about Tejas, and we know because you had Scottish Rite Freemasonry was alive and well around the time of Emancipation Proclamation. And part of their significance is they gather up knowledge and try to hoard it and hold it back in the hopes that they can hold back energy by people being ignorant of the knowledge. Well, it's getting released now. And some of the stuff we ain't even gotta have, we ain't even gotta have the books no more. I mean, and you know, I'm a book advocate, but I you know, some of these connections you ain't even we're downloading them now. We're connecting the dots where stuff is being held in museums. They got huge libraries in St. Petersburg, Russia, and France and England. We just unimaginable amounts of stuff they're hoarding. We ain't even got to get up in all of them no more. We downloading this stuff. You know, we looking at stuff. We looking at Chuck E. Cheese and Spirit coming in and saying, "Control every child." And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna do something. We're gonna talk about the rat. We're gonna talk about the significance of the rat. Because why do they use the rat as uh, their little iconic figure? And you got the rat is the main figure of Disney, but the rat is divine because the rat is always scurrying at the feet of Ganesh. We're gonna have to have a conversation on that. But a lot of stuff, and you know, I'm gonna wrap it up right there. Just give you something to chew on. When I'm gonna read some of these comments as soon as I get to where I can pause or stop the truck for a minute and just see what y'all got going on in the chat area, because I know y'all going in. Some of y'all might be saying, who art thou to try to suggest that that Texas is special? Y'all ain't doing nothing but barbecuing and riding horses down there. People kill me, you know, like think everybody down here riding horses. And which people, they riding horses. You know, we got big steers and all that, and big old cowboy boot stores. Yeah, you got all that typical stuff. But guess who else down here in Texas? The Japanese, the Chinese. That's how you know. You got a whole area in Carrollton, not just Japanese owned, but all the signs are in Japanese. I mean, how much more of a statement is that? You got areas on Pioneer in Arlington where they got the Chinese architecture. It looked like Big Trouble in Little Town over there, you know? Like, man, where we at? San Francisco? Little Chinatown? So, this is a pivotal place. Okay, let's see what we got going on. My dad was telling me to move to Texas for a while now. Well, you know, cost of living is a lot better down here. Once again, things are lining up. My homegirl had a dream with rats. Wow. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna go in on that dark truth. And dark truth is a member, so you gonna get uh you gonna get firsthand access. I was born in Dallas, so going back that way, maybe even Arlington, Park me, Houston. Wow, small world. Dang, it's beginning of the tale of turtle. Yep. Okay, okay, all right, psych. Um, let's see, where should I go in Texas? Thinking about moving. Shoot, man, anywhere, anywhere in Texas. Man, people everywhere down here now. We didn't permeated even the rural places. Um, all is mental. All got cut off. What you? Oh man. Okay. Well, hopefully, um, Irene said it's beautiful. I just moved to Texas in January from Long Beach. I live out in the country. I like it. Wow, that Gulf Coast. You know it, Brother Williams. What's good, Sean? That's right, I-10. Greetings, young world. I appreciate that, Khalid. Uh, I can't see the rest because this is too far up. They won't let me scroll up that far. But before I get off here, let me tell y'all what's. I don't want to be premature, but I'm. It ain't premature because no. Let me correct myself. It ain't premature because it manifested. Um, I'm gonna start doing some live class. I know I've said that. I said that several times, and the time has come. We're close now. I'm gonna start doing some classes here in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. Um, just met with a lady, a friend of mine. Shout out Sister Tamika. She uh, told me about a lady who has a spot, and man, we're gonna start going in down here. Uh, handcuffs off, where I'm gonna have the ability to just let loose and speak, you know, and and teach like I want to. And so if you are Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas, hell, wherever, if you want to hop on the trailway, we're gonna, we're gonna do them like a little series. So it's probably gonna either be a 3 or 4 week series where we're gonna meet once a week. But I'll keep y'all posted. I don't want to go in too much in depth. I used to single one, but your videos always right on, Luis. I appreciate it, brother. I just had a dream that a rat bit me on my foot, but it didn't hurt. It was just chilling on my. Wow, man, that's crazy. You know what? And you say you in Texas, you got to make sure you come through when we get these things, when we get these classes back jumping. What's up, Sister Zeta? Uh, Louise, you crazy, man. Talking about psychedelic mushroom. Um, I hear you, man. Um, but yeah, y'all just stay tuned. I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to, like I say, I'll give you the details soon. But we cooking down here in Tejas. It ain't hot for nothing. It's hot because we cooking down here. So y'all stay tuned, and I expect y'all to show up and show out like they used to say. Oh my God, I dreamed of a rat last night. My God, everybody. That's how you know we done tapped into something here. Man, that's like 4 people, 3 or 4 people. Okay, well that's confirmation. That's confirmation right there. Um, so we gon' We're gonna circle back. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna keep you posted. Um, uh, mastersofthecosmos.com. You can learn more about what I do and peace.